you know, we as a form of a being, as a form of an energy with consciousness able to self-realize, self-actualize, and at the same time be nothing other than whatever you are in the moment of the now. So on one hand, we are a body of energy that is nothing other than what it is in this now, in this moment, with the collective consciousness of all. But at the same time, while we are in the now, and this collection of energy, this particular one, has developed an ability to perceive a future, perceive a tomorrow, perceive something that is yet to come. When you think about it, it's somewhat strange, because really, on one hand, my full existence is here and nothing more, and yet I'm extending myself to a future. It doesn't exist other than my illusion, and yet the energy of that is dispensed for a future that is in fact yet to come. So sort of like I am here dispensing an energy that I don't have to a future that doesn't exist, and yet in the next moment it's precisely what's responsible for my existence, that dispensed energy to a future that had not come from a borrowed energy that didn't exist. Anyway, what I'm saying is this, in a summary, in a short sense of it. Future only exists to the extent that the now is not resolved. If, based on that rule, if I come to a resolution of all my disparities, my karmic past and karmic inheritance, if I'm able to, in the full disposition of the emanated powers off of me in the past that is karmically entangling me for a future that is yet to come, if I can in this moment resolve all of that, I have in fact also resolved the future. Therefore, the now ceases to exist. It will deliver to the non-existence. It will deliver itself to a void, devoid of the word void. So, we can now understand that the future only exists to the extent that is necessary to exist, so the now be resolved. If we construct our mind that way, this very moment, the future becomes less important. The future becomes less significant. Most people live for the future and they forget to be in the now, because they got to get that education, they got to buy that house, they got to get that promotion at the job, they got to blah, blah, blah. They have a million legitimate reasons why they have to wait for the future. They have all of those million reasons to make sure they're not resolved and content this very now, which becomes an orientation for a destiny of pain and illusion-based drama that we call stress, we call disease, we call sickness, and all of that. But if we come to a shift of mentality where, regardless of what I want to be, that promotion, that education, that job, regardless of all that future that awaits me, wouldn't it be nice to be resolved right now? Tell the brain that, and the brain would start to say, okay, let's value this. If you want to shift in your perception, we can do that. Your brain is always, the neuroplasticity of the brain is a carbonic genesis. people, science talk about, neurogenesis, the idea where the plasticity of the brain allows the brain to be very versatile. It can adjust, it can create new neurons. But the one thing they're puzzled when a new experience requires a new wiring, or a new habit requires a new wiring, and then strengthening that wire, if you develop that habit further, the electrons that pulsate in the same direction, they empower that particular bandwidth, because now you're developing habit. All of that science know. But the one thing they don't know is the genesis of that neuroplasticity. Where does it start? How does it start? They just suddenly see a neuron developing for a new experience, right? By the time they notice it is already developed, and the neuron is connectivity is beginning. But they're like, how does it know it connects here? How does it know the experience must do a genesis on this side? Why does this genesis happen? And you know what? I know in the context of carbonic existence, I know how it happens. We can call it the carbonic genesis. Why? Well, because the precise location and the requirement of where the neuroplasticity needs to be developed for that particular new experience in the cosmos of the brain is information that is emanated at my death through the carbon on the outside. So the carbon has information about what is my resolution, what do I need to resolve. My body, this organism, this quantum energy, whatever you want to call it, inscribed in its generative heart pulsation, a certain vibration and electromagnetic field that allows the transformation of oxygen, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide that is happening between every cell, over 4 trillion cells with over 4 trillion CO2 and carbon dioxide being exchanged, is happening 8 times a minute. Now, in this exchange, the information is being imprinted on the carbon as a platform. It's coming out. When it gets kindled by the emanation of the heart, that emanation has the informatics that allows us to receive what, as information, what we need for a complete resolution from the now, in this very now. Part of that information is allowing neuroplasticity to occur at a neurogenesis location that is information based on the body's need. So really, the carbon genesis, the carbonic information on the outside is informing the body of what we need, and the body then recognizes the photogenesis, the neurogenesis has to happen in this location or in that location. It cannot be inside of the body. It has to be outside, just like everything else. So that's all. We can see how vast this idea of carbon illumination is. Once you exit your body limitation, once you realize that you're an informatics and you're able to emanate in the exterior of your manifested body, then many things happen that no one can ever anticipate, because everything, everything's possible once you're out of that limitation. It's just that this limitation has collapsed all of your possibilities into this scenario, and now you choose to live in this scenario. It's quite comfortable, it's nice, it's a beautiful once you get out of this, it's like you don't have a you can't contextualize it. So thank you.